It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Thanks for joining us. You're watching the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Rickenwell. This is David
Stroud. Good morning, sir.
I was getting there.
See,
I have to keep it in the same pace as Scott Scooter Callies.
Oh, okay.
See?
Very nice.
Because one of these days he'll bless us with his presence.
Oh, yes. Next week.
Not till next week.
He's enjoying the... Well, I guess he'll be back this week, but I think it's you and I until the end of the week. Because, you know, once you get back from what he's doing, you got to relax a day or two. You know,
he ain't doing nothing now.
I know, he's relaxing. He said he was relaxing looking at a lake right now. And I was like, sounds good. Enjoy, buddy.
Must be nice.
He still gets up early and sets this all up for me. You know, he's still up at the crack of dawn. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah?
Yeah, let him enjoy it. His son did real good, wrestling. I mean, now it's time to relax.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Relaxing's for old people.
Well, then, I'm an old person because I love to relax. I'll take it.
Morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Home of Arkansas, 29 locations to serve you, one in Memphis, Tennessee. Renata Jenkins-Byler and her staff do a great job taking care of you in your time of need. With all our respect is not only their motto, but it is how they do business and treat you on a daily basis. Let's go to the Lord with a word of prayer. Lord, again, we just thank you for everything you do for us. Lord, we just pray that you'll send a little bit of rain our direction because, boy, it's awful hot and dry. Lord, we just pray that you give traveling mercies to Scooter and his family as they head back home and all the rest of the wrestlers that are up in Fargo, as that will wrap up this week and there'll be a lot of people on the road. Summer is in mid-swing, and we just pray that you will continue to keep our lake safe and our area being prosperous as people come to enjoy our area. And Lord, we just thank you for keeping us safe, our nation safe as it is. And again, we just pray that you will take control of things that are going on in Washington, D.C. and hope that things get better soon. The economy, the way it is right now, is hurting a lot of people of all ages, and we just pray that that will come to an end at some time soon. It's in Christ's name in which we pray. Amen.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah, it's just tough. Roller Funeral Home of Arkansas. Speaking of tough, they'll help you in the toughest time of your life when you're dealing with the loss of a loved one. If you don't know where they are in Mountain Home, go up Highway 5 North past Hospital Drive, look to your right, start watching for the biggest American flag you've probably ever seen. Pull in the driveway and go see the fine folks at Roller Funeral Home. And now we are going to watch a little clip from Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z Team. 870-405-0793 is their number. RetiredArkansas.net is their website. And here's their clip.
Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car!
How will we?
The car! Your offer has been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we?
The closing!
See you at the closing.
Yeah. The closing.
Turn on the video. See you at the closing.
She did good.
It was good.
Yeah. That was a good commercial. I like it.
That's a good clip. Don't know who made that, but it was really good. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team. 870-405-0793 is the number. RetiredArkansas.net is the website. Realtors you would recommend to your friends. I always say that they're busy, but never too busy to meet someone new and help them with their realty needs. Let's take a look at the shot they get to suffer through every morning.
I know, right? That would be horrible to wake up and walk up to with a cup of coffee.
A nice warm biscuit.
Very good. Nice warm biscuits, cup of coffee, and God's country.
No boats out there this morning.
No, it doesn't look like it, so. I mean, it's already starting to get hot, so they're probably like, forget that.
Yeah, probably so.
They'll
But
enjoy it.
If we're waiting for it to cool off this afternoon, I think we're in for a long, long wait.
Yeah.
What you're looking at is a shot from Marion County, Arkansas, back into Baxter County, Arkansas. The city of Cotter is there. See that bird go by?
Yeah.
This is a live shot. See that bird flying back and forth?
Right.
That'll definitely let you know we are live. The City of Carter with the baseball field there, the Railroad Museum. Contractors Trust is off to your right as the river bends. Rainbow Bridge is over to your left. The Witch's Hat Water Tower is straight ahead about 1 o'clock. And way off in the horizon about 11 o'clock is what I call Anderson Knob. Some folks call it other stuff, but we don't know what it's actually called.
The Witch's Hat, did you say?
The Witch's Hat.
I hadn't heard that.
It's the old water tower that's used to service and may still service part of Carter.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't zoom in on it, but it's been there a long, long time.
No, but here's your shot.
And that's the one I like because it's brighter, and you can see that the water's absolutely moving. A little bit of haze. That's what keeps the grass the color that it is on the river. It's all that moisture coming off the river every morning. It's just a great shot.
Oh, yeah.
And that shot, again, is brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team. 870-405-0793 is their phone number. retiredarkansas.net is their website, and you can click onto live views and take a look at those and about 14 or 15 other ones, and just sit there and watch it all day if you want to.
I know, right?
But it's a wonderful thing that they provide us each morning. Let's take a look at the weather, David.
All right.
Temperatures around the area: Mountain Home is 82, Harrison's 88 in Harrison.
Already.
88 before 8. Batesville 83, Yeoville's 80, Marshall 77, Salem 78, Mountain View 77, Calico Rock is 82, West Plains, Missouri 78, Springfield, Missouri 77, Poplar Bluff 78, and St. Louis, Missouri 76. And the radar shot, we'll pan it out, readjust and pan and move and slide.
Please hold.
The nation as a whole is just dry.
Yeah, it is.
A little bit of rain in Upper Peninsula of Michigan, a little bit of stuff down around the panhandle of Florida. Pensacola looks like they're getting a little bit something. St. John's Island is going to get hit with some showers later on today. Oklahoma City and that area, a little bit of something going on there, probably not enough to matter. We're going to zoom back into the state of Arkansas.
Just not a lot of activity, is there?
Says that they're getting some rain down south of us a little bit, but again, it's probably not going to make a whole lot of difference. You know, the rain that we got the other night, we got 147 drops at my house. I counted every one.
I
It
believe
wasn't much. It just wasn't much.
No,
But every little bit helps,
it
I
does.
guess. And
Yes, I'll take it.
it's a great thing as it goes. But as that rain, as we'll pull in a little bit tighter, down around Mountain View, they may get a little bit of a shower in Melbourne. Down Searcy County is going to get something. Fairfield Bay maybe before it dissipates.
And then it's gone.
And then it's gone. But as far as Mountain Home, Baxter County, Fulton County, Marion County, dry.
Yep.
The excessive heat warning has broadened its horizons in Arkansas.
Yeah, it
90% of the state is covered by that advisory. The rest of it's covered by a heat advisory. So you either got excessive heat warning, or you've got a heat advisory. That covers all of the state of Arkansas, most of Mississippi, big part of Alabama, almost all of Texas, and all of Oklahoma. It's just hot and dry everywhere you go.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Hydrate and go inside when you can.
Yeah.
you
While
work outside.
while you're talking about that, check on the old folks.
Yes.
Check on your neighbors. Check on your aunts, your uncles, your moms, your dads, grandma and grandpa. Give them a phone call. Drop by, bring them a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Just drop by and just make sure that they're able. They may be able to sit in their chair and answer the phone, but that does not mean they're okay. Go by and see them.
Yeah.
See them get up and walk around a little bit. Make sure they're staying hydrated. Very, very important for folks. And
Yes,
not
sir.
just the old folks. The young folks need it too.
Yeah, anybody, everybody,
High today is going to be 102. Excessive heat advisory today. Mostly clear tonight. Low of 72. High tomorrow 101. Low of 73. High Friday 103. Low of 76. High Saturday 102. Low of 78. High Sunday 102. Sunday night it's going to be low 78. 20% chance of showers. I think they just put that in there just to give you a little bit of hope.
I know,
20%
right?
chance of showers on Monday, high of 102. And Tuesday, 30%. They're up to Tuesday.
Yeah, then the heat zaps it and dries it out.
101 on Tuesday. The pollen count. Low today for tree pollen, none tomorrow, none on Friday. Moderate grass today, tomorrow, and Friday. And ragweed, none, none, and none. The lake levels, Lake Norfolk, generating 1 at this time. And lake level is 562.76, which is 10.76 above full pool of 552. The Bull Shoals are generating 8 with a lake level 672.86, 13.86 above full pool. Lake levels are moderately coming down just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Bull Shoals is doing a lot of generation. If you want to check the generation report for yourself, give them a call at 870-431-5311. And as they will tell you right off the bat, do not rely on that phone call as being the safe water conditions for the rivers. You need to get out there and check them yourself, but you also need to know how much water is flowing at a time, how quick it's flowing, and how quick it can rise. So,
Yeah.
But since Bull Shoals has been generating 8 probably for the last at least 20 days or longer,
Oh, yeah, at least.
I don't think it's going to get any higher.
Right. I think it's at
I think it's
full.
at full load as
Yeah.
far as the river flow goes.
Yeah, and I'd vest up getting on that.
Definitely, if you're going to fish it, make sure you take every safety precaution that you absolutely can. So that's the weather, the updates, and the lake level report brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team, 870-405-0793, retiredarkansas.net. Again, realtors you could recommend to your friends. And like I say, busy but never too busy to meet a new friend and a new client. We'll be back. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
When you think about hospice,
Arkansas Game and Fish is holding a fly fishing camp at Dry Creek below Norfolk Dam. It's scheduled for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The event is for youth fishermen or ladies ages 12 through 15. Gives campers a chance to learn how to cast and fishing techniques and aspects of fish habitat. Tim Burnley, who's been our guest on the show, is the Stream Habitat Program Supervisor for Arkansas Game and Fish in Mountain Home, and that's going to be a good time for all the kids.
That will be real good.
Be a good time. And there was 10 new business licenses issued in the month of June. Let's see what kind of businesses we've got. We've got a financial group on Main Street. We'll just welcome these folks to the area. Donald Montgomery and Associates Financial Group, located at 200 Main Street. Marty Deiswitz DZI Construction Services at Northwest Court. Richard Marlowe of Crumble and Cream. It's going to be a mobile vendor. Brooke Ackland from Nomad Clothing Company on the square. Gabrielle Pagny for Echo and B Bakery and Cafe at 1560 South College. And then there's 5 home-based businesses: Rawson Lawn Service, CNC Concrete, the Cut Above Lawn Service, and the Mule, which is a delivery service.
The Mule.
Welcome those businesses to Mountain Home in Baxter County.
Yes, sir.
We hope you thrive and are very successful.
Successful.
Over on the sports side, Mountain Home Gridiron Club is sending out Mountain Home football players to gather up auction items for the steak dinner and auction, which will be held August the 6th. This year will be in the air conditioning and at the shed, so that's
right.
Exciting times. If you'd like to donate a large auctionable item, please give me a call at 870-404-0707. See, here we go. 870-404-2438. I'll be glad to get you hooked up with the person and get that collected and make sure you get the recognition that you deserve for donating that item. We've got several gift certificates. We've got a few bigger ticket items that are coming along. Going to be several corporate tables and several corporate VIP tables.
Oh, very good.
So
big donors.
Looking like it's going to be a good time had by one and all. The Mountain Home Gridiron Club is the fundraising arm for the Mountain Home football program. It's not just the high school. People need to understand that. It's not just the high school. It affects grades 7 through 12. It's a great organization that does a lot for the student athletes that play football.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to wrap it up. Come back with the folks from the Veterans Administration. Be back. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Are you looking for the best barbecue in 2 states?
Holy smokes!
Want the meatiest fall-off-the-bone ribs?
Holy smokes!
The most tender and delicious pulled pork?
Holy smokes!
The tastiest brisket in the Ozarks?
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering is the only place you need to go. Dine in, carry out, and the best food for your next catered event.
Holy smokes!
We're your mountain home for great barbecue cooking.
Holy smokes!
A higher calling for your taste buds.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. There it goes.
There it is.
This morning we've got Dan Hall, Arkansas Department of Disabled Veterans, and Hollie Scoma.
You're so close every time.
Sooner or later, it'll get there. District 3 Veteran Service Officer. Welcome. How have y'all been? I haven't been here with y'all in a couple months.
Good.
Been busy.
Yeah.
Been busy.
Lots of
veteran affairs going on.
A lot of things in the works, changing, and we're trying to keep up with things happening in D.C. at the same time.
How do you do that?
It's difficult.
We don't sleep.
You know, this PACT Act, which is one of the largest pieces of legislation for benefits for veterans in history, has been hanging out for over a year now.
Yep.
Under different names, and it came out of the House, went to the Senate, and the Senate messed around with it and added some stuff and took some stuff away. They went back to the House and they put back in what the Senate took out. And, then it had to come back to the House, and it looks like it's going to clear and go to the President's desk, but we just don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, how do you keep track of all that stuff? I mean, do you have somebody in Washington, D.C. that you can talk to and let you know what stage everything is in?
Our disabled American veterans nationally, our legislative team sends out information to me all the time, and we have a Commander's Action Network that the members are involved in. And on these things, what they call a immediate action required, they actually already have an email set up to be sent to your congressmen and senators, and all you got to do is click on it and put your information in there and send it. Then, of course, the VFW does a similar thing, so does the American Legion. So I get these things from 4 different organizations.
Hollie, do you think that the person that you interact in, I'm sure you've got the same type of network that Dan does, it may be the same one that Dan deals with, do you feel that the people in Washington personally deal with the needs of the veterans, or do you think it's done by a bunch of staff that...
Ooh, that's a really tough question. I think that you could definitely tell that when it's a personal thing to them. And so there's a bunch of different acts like Dan was talking about. We get these all the time, emails about they're planning on changing this type of organization or planning on implementing something else, and then they send it out to let the people have a say for a short period of time. So the VA even does something similar to where, hey, you could vote, kind of talk about it. But yeah, that's a really tough question.
There are different responses from different legislators. Without getting too much into politics, I can tell you that John Bozeman has been personally involved in everything that we've done and really shepherds these things himself.
Yeah, I guess that was my question point is we have some people in Arkansas that do show a true interest. They're from Arkansas, but they're in D.C. representing the veterans and their needs, where I know in some other states they don't have that one-on-one or a single person. They deal with a committee or a group. And I just didn't know how that worked here.
Yeah, it varies.
It does vary.
The responses from John Bozeman, and we deal with him personally many times, and he is personally involved with what he's doing. And that's why a lot of things are getting done.
Yeah, and I was talking to a guy that moved here from up north, and I happened to mow his neighbor's grass, and he come by and visit with me, and I said, well, how long have you been here? And he said, I've been here 6 months. And he's got a disabled veteran tag on his car, and I said, well, thank you for your service. And he said, oh, you're welcome. I said, how are you finding things here? Are they any different than home? And he said, the people that I'm dealing with here for my needs are so much more friendly than they are back north. And I won't say where north is, but you can guess. And he said they're just so much more friendly, and seems that I get things happening for me faster than I was able to back home. And that's where that got into the one-on-one talking with people and having their state active people more active than what we have here, or not as active as what we have.
And one of the things is we really do operate that way. It's why we have some successes. While it frustrates me no end that the government, not only federal but state, it almost seems like we don't like people. What we want to do is have you go up on the internet and do a form and don't talk to me. And it's just aggravating, because many of the issues that you come down with, all it really takes is, I don't view myself so much as a resource as a trusted shepherd to get a person in need to a resource. And you have to have that trusted relationship really to make it work. And when you get into these kiosks and online things, particularly when you're talking about the Vietnam era veterans and Korean War veterans, a lot of them don't have computers, don't want a computer, and couldn't operate one if you gave it to them. And you're expecting them to go up online to get information. If you recall when Hollie's predecessor, Alicia, was with us, her and I used to remark all the time that the number one statement that we hear from veterans is, I didn't know that. With all the hundreds of websites and informational sources, they just don't have the information unless you have a personal contact. I got a call last night I just shared with Hollie at 12:56 in the morning. I got a voicemail this morning, and it goes on for 5 minutes.
It's quite a while.
A lady who starts out saying, I don't want to leave my name or phone number, but, and apparently her husband is in the 224th, who's deployed right now and has some issues, and she spent all day yesterday calling all kinds of 800 numbers and whatnot, and never got a human being to talk to her. And I just telling her voice, this lady's frustrated, and I wish she would have left a phone number, because we would have made every effort in the world to help satisfy whatever her problem was. But that's just, we have that all the time. We were setting up something on Saturday last week for the Veterans Benefit Fair. And one of the organizations that contracts with the VA, and they get paid good money to counsel veterans, Hollie kind of asked them to come up and, well, it was kind of on a weekend, and we don't work weekends. I said, what? You know,
No, Dan, you got to understand, it's 8 to 9.
I'm a volunteer, and essentially my hours seem to be Sunday through Saturday, 1 a.m. to midnight. If somebody calls and I hear the phone, I answer the phone. If I can help them, I help them. It's just bizarre that people that are getting paid good money would say, well, I don't work Saturdays, or you know, can't be there after hours, or can't take a call after hours. It's like, you're in the wrong business.
Organizations, not just the veterans, but organizations throughout even corporate world, they've taken the human aspect out of so many different things that it's just frustrating.
Oh yeah, social media is the most antisocial thing that we have ever invented. I was talking to somebody who had a teenage kid there, and the thing was, he's on the Facebook all the time, doesn't get out much, and I don't know, something about 3,000 friends. I said, no, son, you don't have any friends at all. That's why you're on Facebook.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
There's a difference between friends and followers, and being one in either aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can either be a friend or you can be a follower.
And you can be on Facebook and be completely unreal. Face to face, you got to kind of be real.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately, that's where we are.
So how did the Veterans Benefit Fair go?
It went so good. So we had close to 400. I want to say like the real number was about 370 something. But close to 400 veterans and their dependents in attendance. We had 34 vendors, including the VA and all of our veteran organizations around here, and veteran-friendly businesses and veteran-owned businesses. So it was a really good event. So
excellent.
Yeah.
How does one get invited to that as a veteran-owned vendor?
So we just talked to all of them, word of mouth, me and Charlie. We've already started planning for Charlie Leonard, the Baxter County Veteran Service Officer. We've already started planning for next year, so we're trying to get things together, because we found interest afterwards as well, and they were like, hey, we would like to be invited, and we're like, all you had to do is call us. Yeah, come on, we'll do it next year.
We've been doing that outreach picnic and those kind of things for years on a smaller scale, but when Director Sneed actually was appointed by ASA to be the director of Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs. That's when he came up with a strategic plan, worked with the veterans organizations, and we moved from one regional office in Little Rock, or North Little Rock, to 9 out here in the county where the veterans live. And that made a big difference. And one of the first things that we did with that position, Alicia worked real hard on this with me, was creating a resource book, so that there are resources here in Mountain Home that maybe somebody in Flippin don't know about, and there may be resources in Batesville that we don't know about. And since she's in charge of 9 counties, the training of 9 county veteran service officers, she knows all of these contacts, and they get invited to participate in the whole district.
We'll come back and talk about that a little bit more after the break. 30 minutes after the hour, we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the morning show on XL7-TV.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Overhead Door, a garage door company that has been with your family from the beginning, through all the ups and downs of life. From the small repairs to making your vision a reality. Overhead Door, your trusted garage door expert since 1921. Be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door service.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home.
At Serendipity Blue.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Dan Hall, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans, and Hollie Scoma, District 3 Veteran Service Officer. I'm going to get it right before Christmas.
It's okay.
I don't know why I have a hard time. I have a name. My last name's Rectenwald. Like, come on.
Well, we were last
Scoma
week.
Should be easy.
We were in Boulder, Colorado, for a Together with Veterans Summit.
Was that the acronym Summit?
Yes.
Summit.
The Witchy.
Yeah, the Witchy Summit.
There you go.
Yeah, and that was very productive. Of course, it was a day on the road, and with 2 days of meetings from 7 in the morning till 5 in the evening, and another day on the road to get back. And let's see, Friday I had Twin Lakes Retired Police, and Saturday we had the benefit fair, and Monday I had afternoon meeting with DAV and evening with the VFW. But other than that, we haven't been doing much.
No. What do you do in your spare time?
I'm preparing for Thursday's community partnership meeting. In April, we started this organization called U.S. Veteran Outreach, a 501c3, to deal specifically with this suicide prevention issue. And the community partners, which includes everybody from the VA Suicide Prevention Program to the local CBOC to Baxter Regional, and all of their providers are kind of outreach too. I've got a meeting. We had one in April. We had 30 people show up, including ASU and all these people. Well, the bigwigs from Witchy and Myrick, from Washington State and Boulder area came in, and they were so impressed with what's happening in Mountain Home, Arkansas, that they asked us to be involved in Zoom meetings to help other communities. And then I was asked to sit on a panel at this summit. 3 of us attended it, and we're dealing with 31 communities nationally, from Guam to New Hampshire, and from northern Michigan to West Texas. And we're one of the leaders in the thing now, so it's keeping us busy.
No spare time.
And I've got a quarterly meeting this Thursday, and they've already asked me if they could Zoom in and listen to what we're doing. And so Mountain Home has become a national leader in this issue.
You mentioned something in that the people may not know what it is or where they're located, but what is a CBOC?
The community-based outpatient clinic run by the VA, and that's over there next to Hobby Lobby, and in that where the flag is. That's the CBOC, and
In the old Village Mall.
yeah, the old Village Mall, and veterans can get care there. We keep expanding the type of care that's available.
Does that help cut back on the trips to Little Rock? For
Oh,
these
really?
guys
It
and
really
gals?
did. And then in addition to that, when the Mission Act we got passed, created a community care network where private providers, non-VA providers, can be used for treatment locally. So if the CBOC, if I have an issue and I need to see a specialist, and the CBOC recommends me to, so our van ridership is way down because of that. Most veterans don't have to ride 3 hours for a 15-minute appointment anymore. And that's a good thing, because with COVID, I think I'm down to 3 drivers, and one of them's at home right now with COVID. So everything came at, the Lord works in strange ways, but we don't need the vans quite as much as we used to, and that's a good thing because we don't have drivers to drive them.
Yeah.
As the District 3 Veteran Service Officer, what is your role in everything like what Dan, you guys just work hand in hand, or is it 2 separate organizations?
So it is 2 separate organizations, but we still work hand in hand. Like Dan was saying earlier, like we have the resources to let other veterans know where they can get help and how to go about getting help. And we have those relationships with those resources as well, so that we can call them and say, hey, we have someone in need, and kind of get things rolling quicker than going online or waiting for somebody to call you kind of deal. So, and our local veteran service officers are instrumental to that too. So it's a big community project, and it really is like the lowest level, basically helping out to make sure everything across the board is taken care of.
And then she gets a lot of very thorough training from the Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs, she works for, and then she trains the 9 county veteran service officers. So there's kind of a standardization of training now. You don't have this thing. What we used to have was a really good county service officer here and one that's not so hot over there. Right. It's pretty much across the board now. And by sharing that information and the successes we've had here, Hollie's a real leader in the state. And they're using not only our suicide prevention program, but what we do in that regard to make changes at the state level. We're involved with the Governor's Challenge, which is, there's 26 states that have been involved in this, and it's a research grant funded by VA and SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Association.
More acronyms.
And they put together this Governor's Challenge, and the state applied for a grant and got it. They're trying to take what we're doing in Baxter County and duplicate it in Garland County and Hot Springs counties. Another little group in White County. And so we work with all of them trying to improve things statewide.
Is there any way to know how many veterans are in Baxter County alone?
Yes.
Yeah, we just actually got the numbers. They're 2 years behind normally from the VA and from the CDC, but we did just get those numbers released. I did not bring them with me today because they literally came out like 2 days ago.
Really? Okay.
So, but we did just get those numbers. So we release those out to our veteran service organizations to the county level, and then normally they go to the Quorum Corps and brief those. I don't think.
Let me look at that.
Yeah. There's
a lot of statistics that we have. If you look at the Arkansas map, you can see where most of the veterans live. We track up a lot of things like that. One of the problems that we had was, people think, well, the guy's a veteran, he's under the VA. Well, probably not. 80% of veterans have no contact with the VA at all. In Baxter County, there's about 5,060 veterans, according to our census numbers.
I think that was around the number that we got to.
But if you track how many are involved in the veterans community, that is, members of the VFW, the DAV, American Legion, what have you, come up with around 1,000. And many of us are members of all 3. Okay, well, that's a little less than 20%. Where are the other 80% of the veterans? Well, we've done a lot of work in surveying the county and major employers, and we can tell you where they are. The county judge's office was kind of amazed when their survey found that 30% of county employees are veterans. Chief of police was really wowed when he found 20% of his workforce are veterans. Baxter Lab has a BaxVet organization within. They know how many veterans they have. The school district, since Bud Zorman over the years has been doing the Freedom Isn't Free thing and the junior ROTC, they pretty much know who the veterans are that work for them, from teachers to bus drivers. And the school district, that's the school district. And then the hospital, when the community care network came about, they created a position called the Veterans Ambassador, and they pretty much know who comes in and out of the hospital that's a veteran. And you know, I've been one of the, I've been around a few years. I remember I think it was Will Rogers that once said there's 3 kind of lies: damnable lies, white lies, and statistics. And so when you're looking at statistics, you have to put them in context.
Now, I was reading some of these that I'm not a veteran by any means, but I questioned some of their numbers.
Well, for instance, the VA will tell you that the highest suicide rate for veterans is the 18 to 34 group. That may be true, but the highest count is the 59 to 75 group, the Vietnam era veterans, just because there's so many more of them. So if we took the statistical numbers and went looking for the 18 to 34s, we don't find too many in Baxter County. But we sure got a lot of the Vietnam era here. And by understanding that, or you look at Baxter County as a statistic of 12.2% of the population are veterans. Okay, well, what does that mean? How do I assimilate that and make a decision? Well, first of all, I know that census says that the average household in Baxter County is 2.5 people. So take 2.5 times 12.2, and you come up with 30.5% of the population of this county lives in a veteran home. And so then you begin to see how big the situation is.
According to the sheet that you passed me, in Arkansas, there's 38.2% of the veterans are from the Vietnam era. Does that number seem to be accurate, do you think?
I think so.
I would think so.
Then even the people that I worked with on this TWV grant, when I gave them the information for this state, they were really surprised that there's so many more Vietnam era veterans than there were Gulf War.
According to this, it's 21.1 for Gulf War I and 18.8 for Iraq and Afghanistan. And what is the between conflicts? What does that cover?
That's the Cold War area, where between Korea and Vietnam, for example.
Well, it's amazing that Northwest Arkansas, Washington County, Benton County, 7.2 to 8.7% of the population are veterans.
So, and I can send you the number that we just released too, because we just have it like on a pretty slide. But I can send you that, and it's pretty outstanding to see, because like Dan was saying, we don't know all of our veterans, and we're trying. Because one of the things at the Boulder conference, we were trying to strategize on how to get these people out, because they say we didn't know, but we're trying every effort to make sure that they know. And it's just, we're missing additional people, and we would love to have them welcomed into our communities, you know, to be a part of it and to get the benefits that they deserve and to be a part of healthcare and things like that.
How many veterans are out there that are missing out on benefits that they could take advantage of that they just don't know about?
Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Just tons and tons. Just
Yeah.
lots.
But you have to understand that back when I came back from Vietnam, had issues, malaria they couldn't cure and what have you. When they were done with you, there was no transition thing. They just sent you home.
Yeah.
Okay? You had no idea what benefits you had or didn't have. First time I knew I had any benefits, I went to buy a house, and somebody said, well, you know, you got the VA loan thing. Really? What's that? When I went to community college and they found out I was a veteran, well, are you in the VA education program? Didn't know it existed. You know, and as far as things like TBI and PTSD, they didn't exist when I came back from Vietnam.
TBI is traumatic brain injury.
And at the same time, there was no Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah.
And so these veterans came back and they had to compartmentalize any issues they had and go on with their lives if they wanted to succeed in a civilian career. And they became school teachers and police officers and firemen, first responders, found other ways to serve. But before the Americans with Disabilities Act, the last thing in the world you would ever do is admit that you had some sort of psychological issues relating to your service, because you'd be out of a job.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of things have changed more recently, and so that's why the Vietnam era veterans don't trust giving information on the internet to the government or where it's accessible by anybody. So you really got to know who your client is.
There you go. 45 after, you're watching the morning show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
We love turning your day into a once-in-a-lifetime memory by offering unique, beautiful, and specialized event and wedding rentals that can transform any atmosphere into something you will never forget. Whether it's your dream wedding, a golden anniversary, sweet 16 party, or a company event, we can make any event blissfully perfect. Serendipity Bliss carries unique specialty gifts and bridal jewelry and helps coordinate decor, table items, theme-related pieces, and more. Make your day blissfully perfect with Serendipity Bliss, located behind Car Care Mountain Home.
Scrap Daddy's Metals is a full-service scrap recycling center accepting your scrap metals for recycling, paying you top dollar for all of your recyclable metals. They even buy cars and catalytic converters. Give them a call today at 870-424-6120 or visit them at 2821 Highway 5 North in Mountain Home. At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville. Close to Lake Norfolk and a short journey to Jordan County Line Liquor is your destination for all your refreshment needs. They offer the widest variety of all your wines, beers, and liquors with the cleanest atmosphere and the largest selection in the area. Not sure what to get? Ask Jordan County Line Liquor's friendly and knowledgeable staff for an expert recommendation you can't go wrong with. Also, don't forget about the Smoker's Den for all your smoking and accessory needs. That's Jordan County Line Liquor, close to Lake Norfolk, located on Highway 177 in Jordan, Arkansas.
Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car!
How will we?
The car! Your offer has been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we?
The closing!
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. We are talking with veteran stuff. We're talking about veteran stuff. If you know a veteran, thank them. If you don't know one, meet one.
And
if you see one with a hat out there or a shirt, thank them.
There you go.
I always do. Definitely. My dad was a veteran, so I do appreciate your service.
I do also with police officers. When I stop someplace, there's a police officer in arrest, I'll go over and personally thank him. I'm a former officer. Fortunately, I got out of it while it was still fun. I don't think I'd want to be doing it today with what those men go through. But we were talking about early on about congressmen that get involved personally and what have you. I've been doing this a long time. You know, I can go back to the mid-'80s when, at the same time that VA and DOD were paying this guy that we dubbed Dr. Orange, this expert that was coming in and testifying, getting paid lots of money to tell Congress that dioxin and Agent Orange never hurt anybody. At that very same time, the EPA was evacuating the city of Times Beach, Missouri, because that stuff was in the oil that they put on the road and it might be toxic. So I've been doing this a while. And more recently, we have situations where, like the PACT Act, it's expensive. It's $680 million. And one of our congressmen voted against it because the price was too high. And I sent him a nasty email. You send people into these hazardous situations to fight for their country, and you promise them that their medical care will be there when they get back, and it's not. And at the same time that you're denying, because it costs too much, a VA bill, you're authorizing the spending of money to pay medical care for people who enter the country unlawfully or pay off student loans and that kind of thing. And that gets very aggravating. The money should not be the issue when you're talking about treating veterans who answered the call and served their country and were promised care.
Exactly.
Couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
But we keep going.
Yeah.
We endeavor to persevere.
Plug and plug and plug. What is the most important benefit that you think some veterans are missing out on?
Well, that's tough.
That's hard because there's so many of them. Honestly, I would just think just healthcare or benefits in general.
Well, there are some that are completely unknown to veterans my age that didn't use their VA educational benefits. For example, there's been acts passed by Congress now that if they didn't use it, they can actually assign it to their dependents.
Oh wow, that's a biggie.
That is a big deal.
Is that just in the works, or is that now?
That's law now.
That's happening now.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's, and particularly one of the things that we do as the Twin Lakes Retired Police Association, our foundation provides scholarships to the children of law enforcement, for example, who are pretty much underpaid in the world. Well, that kind of thing with a veteran is real similar to a scholarship.
Yeah.
Do you think that they don't take advantage of those things because their attitude is, it's too much red tape, too much trouble, it's too hard to get,
some
too
of
hard
it,
to deal with?
most of it is they don't know.
They literally don't know.
It's back to the I don't know. I didn't know.
Yeah. And when they do, a lot of veterans my age just don't want anything to do with it. Back in the 60s when they got out, they had some bad feelings about it. The VA was not there for them, or some of them may have filed a claim and immediately got denied, and they put that behind them, went on, never asked for anything. And
I'm done with it.
I'm done with it, yeah.
And so the way we get those veterans in is we tell them that if they don't apply, then their spouses never receive anything, because if you're never part of the program, your spouses and dependents can't be a part of the program. So that's how we bring them back in. And
if
we're like,
you don't
hey,
exist, they don't exist.
Right. We're like, hey, if you want to help out your spouse later on,
well,
yeah, we can do it. And then that kind of opens up that conversation again, because they'll be willing to do it for their spouse, but not for them.
Sure. And with all the things that are wrong in the VA, there's an awful lot that is right. And the VA that denied you a claim or gave you a problem back in 1965 is not the same VA we're dealing with today.
Right. Now you can talk to your computer. Instead of talking to Sally Smith, you get to talk to E-Rock, the computer.
Yeah.
What a deal. Let me ask you, locally, Holly, who do people call locally to get started with their veterans benefits?
So locally, they would contact their veteran service officer.
Which is Charlie.
So that's Charlie for Baxter
Phone
County.
number?
I don't have his phone number off the top of my head. I don't memorize phone numbers like that. They're all on my phone.
Okay.
But you can go onto ADVA and search under county, or contact your county judge, and he knows who the veteran service officer are.
They all work for the county judge.
For all of the counties in Arkansas. So they're all listed on ADVA, on the Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs. They could search by county, or they could go on, call their judge, or go to their tax assessor, or any of those other people, and they'll know who the county.
About any county office can help you get directed to your
Baxter County is 425-8255, but if you don't remember that, you can call the county judge's office and they'll tell you the number to get you.
Give that number out again.
I don't memorize numbers.
And what is the number for, and who? And
for the county veteran service officers, 425-8255.
Okay.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
A phone book right here.
The walk-in phone book.
But yeah, no, that's where they would start the process. And that's for healthcare or for benefits, because most of our veterans don't realize those are two separate organizations and they don't talk to each other.
And you deal with how many different offices?
9.
9. And where are those offices at?
So it starts over in Boone, and then it goes to Baxter, Cleburne, Marion, Izzard, Independence, Fulton, Sharp, and Stone. I think that's
9. I count.
Yeah, there you go.
He didn't even have to take off his shoes.
Yeah.
And one of the new things, the Veterans Crisis Line that you see on the billboards and what have you, there is now a 3-digit number, 988.
988. I
And
heard
so
that this morning on the radio, matter of
that
fact.
just went nationwide, so
Yep.
it's everywhere now. So 988, and then they press 1 for veteran. So.
Yeah, I heard that on the radio this morning.
So that's a good resource too. But yeah, and I helped other counties as well. So we have White County that we met at the conference and we're working with. And then I also do training for our private organizations like the VFW and DAV and things like that, so that everyone's kind of on the same page. Like we said, it's a community effort. So.
On the 28th, we're doing a QPR class, and QPR, for those who've never heard of it, it's
You gotta speak English, I suppose, Dan.
Take off on the old CPR.
Okay.
We used to lose thousands of people to heart failure before we taught laymen to do CPR. And the same thing applies to mental health and the suicide prevention program. There's a very simple training called QPR, and stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer. Somebody's depressed, they're not acting, don't be afraid to ask them the question, are you considering suicide?
Okay.
They might be real glad you asked, somebody cares.
Yeah.
Well, once you've done that, then the job is to persuade them that there are resources. What you're considering is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there are resources, and then know what resources that you can guide them to. We're doing a class over at Good Samaritan on the 28th. I've got about 10 people. I was at VFW on Monday night. They actually voted to create a suicide prevention committee within the VFW and get this QPR training, so we'll be setting up that. We've got now in Baxter County 10 instructors that can teach small groups these techniques and skills, and it's about an hour and a half of your time. Well worth it.
Awesome. Is that open just to veterans, or is that
anybody
something that
who
could be
wants to do this?
Passed down to police departments?
Since the VA is involved, it's called Veteran Suicide Prevention Program, but we've kind of translated it to service members, veterans, and their families. And in addition to that, when you have a public health issue that we're dealing with, you can't really confine it to veterans. Yes, I know several veterans that committed suicide, but I know 4 businessmen in this community, a young man 28 and a 14-year-old student at high school. So it's a public health issue.
So like some good training that could be passed down to the sheriff's office and the PDs. And
we have a member on the sheriff's office who's a certified trainer. I have 2 on Baxter, on Mountain Home Police Department, the school resource officers. Good Samaritan has 1, DAV has 2. We have 2 in the health department, 1 Baxter Regional. So,
what kind of upcoming events have you got that we can talk about for the next minute?
October 1st, the Veterans Outreach Picnic at ASU. We expect we'll probably feed around 800 this year. We did over 700 last year. We used to do this at Hickory Park, and we outgrew it. There was no parking. We got above 300, and it kept growing. When the community got behind it and we created the auxiliary and Good Samaritan came on with us, it just got really big, and it got down to where it was a drive-by to get a brat because there was not even any parking. And so I went over and talked to Chancellor Myers, and he said, Dan, we'll do whatever you want to do. So up there where the nice trees are in the flat area, when you come into the college on the right side, we set up big circus tents there. They open that health science building, so we have access to restrooms. We have Katie Laney Project. We'll be doing entertainment. A lot of vendors from the community that help veterans. It's an outreach and appreciation situation. Last year, the Central Arkansas Veterans Healthcare System brought their mobile unit up. They did vaccinations and flu shots. And the Seabach, of course, is there. Baxter Regionals. As a matter of fact, Baxter Regional, Brian and his team are going to do some of the cooking again this year. It's a big community deal.
Good deal. And that's October the 1st.
October the 1st. It's always the first Saturday of October. This happens to be on the 1st of October this year.
Good deal.
And there'll be flyers all over the place here in the next month or so.
Sounds good. Appreciate y'all taking the time to join us. We appreciate you watching the morning show on XL7-TV. We'll see you tomorrow.